Don't play in it, I mean, it just seemed like, it was just like it was really a bizarre game. Every time they got the ball, they were already inside, like scoring position. We gave it to them way too easily a lot of times. It was just a really bizarre game. It does seem really long ago.
Is this game important for you in terms of it being a regional rival and that kind of deal? Because there's not many on the schedule.
Yeah, there's people are going to try and find a rivalry game. I don't know if you would call this one or not. They are a border state, so it's always going to be, recruiting-wise, it's big for that. But also, it's the next game on our schedule, and so that makes it even bigger. They are a good team. They're 2-0. Returned a lot of guys from last year. They're not in our conference, but that doesn't mean it's not just as important as the last game.
You said there were a lot of odd looks last year. When you look at the film from this year, are they as multiple this year as they were?
Yeah, they still like to do a lot of things on defense to try and confuse you. A lot of pressures, a lot of blitzes. That's typical. I mean, a lot of teams do that. It's just that's their mentality and philosophy. But it's football. We still got good things to go up against it. It's not like it's just an unbeatable defense. There's good things we can do, and they do a lot of good things well too.
Coach Holes just talked about wanting to see some more big plays. I know you're only for 3. You feel like if you just keep progressing, that big plays.
I think last week's defense kind of prevented that. They were just a kind of an umbrella type coverage, keep everything underneath them. Not let anything get behind them, and Maryland does a similar type thing, which is smart. Make people earn the yards that you get. Don't let people just get them on one play. And so it kind of goes hand in hand with like who you're playing. It doesn't mean we aren't necessarily making them. It just means they're kind of just not allowing them, and you got to do whatever you got to do to be successful.
Their third down efficiency was an issue after Alabama going 12 for 17 the other day. So what's that do for the confidence?
The ones were even higher, and we know that, and that's just a big confidence boost for all of us. We know we can do it. Now we just got to do it against Maryland this week and continue to progress. We still got to work on the red zone and score zone opportunities. We had some chances to score down there where we didn't. We got to get 7 more than 3. And that's things we're going to focus on this week.
What's the key to executing down there? I mean, is it something you guys are doing, or is it play calling?
It's a combination of both, trying to get it in the right play if it's not the best play, also executing once you get into that right play. There's a lot going on, and just, red zone's hard to score because there's very little space, and that's part of the game. So.
Clint, does that lopsided loss from last year kind of make you guys want to set the tone early?
Yeah, I don't know if you would say there was a revenge factor, not for me, because I wasn't really, I was a part of it, but didn't get to play. But, like I said, and if you look at it, it was a bizarre game. We kind of set our defense up to fail offensively. I don't want to, we're going to go out there and give it our best this week. I'm not going to say anything. There's no bulletin board material. I mean, it's just, they're a good team. We just got to go out there and put our best.
Maybe first true road test since the first game was a neutral site game. What do you expect going on the road?
I've played Maryland a couple times before when I was in the SEC. We played up there a couple times. And then all the way back when we were, my dad was coaching here, we've been there tons of times. Bird Stadium's a cool stadium with a big old press box. And they tend to have some good fans there, bring some guys out and excitement. The years that they're doing well, and they're 2-0, so I expect a good crowd. And I don't think that'd be a problem for us because Georgia Dome is pretty lopsided Alabama fans, and so I think we'll be able to handle it.
Can you describe the relationship you have on the field with Kevin White? I mean, last year he was like 35 to 45 receptions total, and now 2 games in he's already set career highs in back-to-back games.
Well, I mean, he's making plays. He's getting open. He's making the plays once the ball's thrown to him. I'm actually getting it to him. That makes a big difference. We're both on the same page out there on the field, off the field. We're both have similar mentalities to how we approach the game. Very business-like attitudes, and he's trying to make some money this year, and he's doing a good job of that.
What do you think it was last year that was affecting his performance?
I wouldn't necessarily say that he had bad performances last year. He just wasn't fully believing in himself, and now he is, and he's showing people what he can do. And it takes time. It's the same for me. It was the same for a lot of us young guys last year. Whenever it's your first time playing in a new type system, you're always going to have doubts in the back of your mind. Now we got those out of the way, and we're just going out there and playing and executing.
Even though there's a lot of returning players on WVU team, do you think that this year's team is a lot more different than last year's team?
Yes and no. Our mindset's different because we know what we went through last year, but then we're also still the same players, just a year better. So that's a yes and no type answer.
Dana was saying that he loves the leadership he sees out of you this year. He said when William fumbled the ball and got sacked and turnover, you were the first one to greet him on the sideline. I guess, has that changed in a way from last year, or is that how you've always been? And how much does William need that?
I've always kind of been like that because people were like that to me when I was young. Like when I was at Florida State, Ponder would do the same thing, EJ would do the same thing. And I'd do it to guys beneath me down there. And now last year, if Ford or Paul were in, I'd tell them what I'd see, if it would help, and they'd do the same for me. And that's all I was doing with Will, and I want him to have that attitude once he gets older too, because that's just going to do nothing but better this program. But he is a good player, and he's going to continue to get better once he gets more reps. And
the early success that you have had in the first couple of games, have you heard from any of your former players or coaches?
Yeah, I've heard. A lot of people just checking in, saying, you're doing a great job, keep it up. A lot of people, and it's good to hear that. And a lot of people who are texting me are also doing well too. So that's part of it. Met a lot of friends in the football world, and continue to do that. So.